That's it, I'm putting a bounty on my own head. Guardians in the wilds or in the social space that meet up with me and impress me on some sort of level will be featured in a video. He's Kiss. Here he is, look. Darth Vader himself. Thought I would never meet him. I know what he's after. He's after King of the North knowledge. He's after my secret wares, secret loot stashes like what Cade used to do. Yeah, I know what he is. I know he knows me. You can tell by his eyes, dude. Behind that helmet, there you go. OMG, it's C91. How you keeping? You alright, lass? Hunter Mains, it's now your turn for a video. We're going to see how good Orpheus Riggs is after post buffs with Mobius Quiver. The build is as follows: Mobius Quiver Tether, Gambler's Dodge, Snare Bomb, Void Spike Grenade, Trapper's Ambush on the Prowl, Fragments are Echo of Expulsion, Instability, Persistence, Vigilance and Obscurity. Pairing that with the boots Orpheus Riggs. Here's the armor mods on screen. There'll be a dim link for you. Weapons wise, I'm pairing it with a Praxic Blade, a Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Rounds primary, and Submersion for extra Mobius Quiver damage with a bow. Here's the artifact mods on screen. I won't go too in depth into it. You can just pause and repeat those mods. Now then, there's many ways of building this, but I do recommend that you rock a Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Rounds primary with this build because it adds to it very nicely. I have looked on Destiny 2 Foundry. There are currently 34 primaries that roll with Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Rounds. However, if you don't want to look at that, what you can easily do is access your vault. I'm gonna fill this bad boy up to 1,000. You just watch. If you come here, weapons, filters, and you can filter it out and just check quickly. So energy weapons, yeah, with damage type void, ammo type primary, boom. You can then quickly look at what Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Round weapons you have. I believe the Compact Defender does roll with it, but I don't really like the weapon. But I am just explaining to you that a Repulsor Brace Destabilizing Rounds primary is so good to this build. It's incredibly powerful. Now I'm wearing 2-piece Texec, 2-piece Smoke. You could wear 2-piece Smoke and 2-piece Sword Master. Up to you. Stat wise, you want 100 milli stat for recharge rate, high super stat as you can get, post 100 weapon stat, and tier 7 class stat minimum. And try and get a little bit of grenade energy on top of that. Because of the buffs with the ability regen on this build, you can spam abilities, so it's worth investing into a number of different abilities. I'm actually very happy with this split. I'm very happy with this split on how it works. That's why I built him around Trapper's Ambush. Because Trapper's Ambush is via your melee. And remember, super exotic, Paragon, melee super weapons. Remember that old story? Melee super weapons. So if I'm using a lot of super pieces because of Orpheus Riggs, well then I'd rather spec into Trapper's Ambush rather than Vanish and Step. But we could do it the other way. But I'm just explaining to you, this is how I built him. And now we'll come on to what we're going to be doing. Okay, so we're going to do Ultimate Sunless Cell. And I want to remind everybody that in certain activities in the portal, they're now hitting as hard as the old Grandmasters pre-Edge of Fate. The Sunless Cell I'm about to do is very similar to the version before. Well, not similar. I mean, the old version was still harder. I should know. I ran it a lot. This one's still easier, but the ads are hitting very hard. And Bungie has said that the damage resistance here is just a visual bug. However, they haven't commented about why Ultimate adds reckon enemies. I believe this change should be probably intentional. And they've buffed Ultimate mode. They've buffed Ultimate mode, that's how I think, right? And they've done it because people have complained that Ultimate mode was too easy. So Bungie can't win here. They've done something what you've asked for them to do last month. However, now the changes went through, casual players are now complaining, saying that they're getting one shot in Ultimate modes. In the portal. What do you do? I don't know. But here's what the mods are. I'm just running a B card, no need for A+. Taken Denial, Strand Anti-Surge, Hot Step. I've got all this unlocked, no radar, Extinction Revive, so it needs to be solo flawless. I'm not going to run too many boons, but I did run Airborne, and I did run Slayer. Brawler's up, but I did not want to run Brawler or Grenadier, because I think that would ruin the video too much. Because that means I can't see what the neutral gameplay of Nightstalker is if I run these boons. However, getting more damage on Airborne, well, that's just more damage. That's not upsetting anything too much. But Brawler would upset it. Because I would keep getting Trapper's Ambush over and over, and nobody would know how good the build is on this particular video. So there you go. That's the information on with the run. Okay, so here is that Nightstalker run. Let's evaluate how well the ability regeneration is in a Grandmaster style environment. Yes, in the solo Ultimate Conquests now, or the solo Portal Conquests, the ads are hitting far hard. Look at how weak I get there in the Overshield. Echo of Vigilance procs, and I get that Overshield to go right up. And it will proc every time you get your shields depleted. But obviously there is an in-built cooldown to it. But every now and then it's going to proc. But it's going to proc when you need it. Okay, so we melt down that unstop there. Remember, there are some mods on. We've got Airborne on and Slayer, which is, I believe Airborne is buffing the lightsaber in this because you're jumping in the air. Do you see that? The heavy attack on the lightsaber, you are technically in the air, so Airborne does stack with it. Because those champs are chunks. They have a lot of health on this difficulty. Just take note on how good the AR works in this. Remember, it's D-Stab, Repulsor Brace. I'm recommending that you use some sort of Repulsor Brace, Destabilizing rounds primary with this. Or you can use Luminar. Graviton Lance works well. There's many things that work well, of course. Quiet of Wonders. But we're going to go Invis here. And we're looking for our champ. And remember, I'm not going to skip many champs in this, if at all any. I'll get a stun here with the bow. Instant stun as well. You just have to ready the bow. And then I go in with the lightsaber, the free light heavy. Now we're going to do a tether here. So we're going to use Mobius on 2 wizards and an unstop. So let's just see how that goes. Tether on that. One shots that wizard. Yeah. We get weak here. I go in Viz. I get Echo of Vigilance to proc. Overshield. Yeah. I get my stun on the unstop. Kill that unstop with the tether, and then the final tether on the wizard. Because I know that you don't need to kill the back wizard, only the 3 wizards. Obviously, we already know all of that. But as we go along, you're going to see more and more how real versatile Void Nightstalker really is now. And I think if you're a Hunter main, you should be playing a hell of a lot of Nightstalker now. Even for solo. It's extremely powerful. It really is. It's got so much going for it. The ability uptime is very noticeable compared to what it was in the past as well. So we need to get rid of him, the phalanx that being. And I'm going to start dealing with some of these Grims before I push up. Because when I push up, the champs are going to spawn in. But look at what this AR is doing in this. It's absolutely nasty, the riposte. It is. But there are other primaries, as I've mentioned. If in doubt, check D2 Foundry, best website for checking traits on guns. You can quickly establish what traits roll with what by just typing them in. So we get a stun on this unstop here, then we go in with the lightsaber. Yeah, we get rid of him. I do get weak a lot of times in this run, lads. The ads are hitting very hard in this. Okay, now we're going to risk a little bit. We're going to go with the lightsaber and block. Remember, it's not like Strongholds, but you're still going to get a nice block. It's still got a nice block on it, despite it not having what Strongholds does. Look at what we're doing here. We're getting rid of these Grims here. Yeah, nice. Sniper here as well. Get rid of him. Now we start doing the Blights. Obviously, you can cheese the Blights. I've mentioned how you can cheese them. Many ways of cheesing them. You can step on top of the Blight. You can actually destroy them from a distance. But in this run's all about testing Nightstalker Mobius in this particular run. That's what it's about. It's not about skipping rooms. I don't want to do many skips in this. It's all combatant challenge. We're wanting to evaluate how good it is. Okay? Because I haven't got to play much Hunter this week. So in the last 2 days I've really properly had time to play him. Because, well, the game's been busy, right? Busy with a lot of things to do. It's only week 1 of Renegades. Not even 1 week has elapsed yet, you know. Plus, I've had to do campaign on all 3 characters, which has been annoying. No way I pay for that for skipping. No way I pay for that, so you've got to do the campaign on all 3 characters. That's just how it is. And plus, there's factions to level. There's weapons to chase for. Unique roles with unique origin traits and all this sort of stuff. We'll get rid of the Grims here with a nice block. Get rid of the sniper as well. There's some nice tethers in this run. You'll see a satisfying tether coming up right now, actually. You're going to see it in a minute. So just get rid of this blight here. I can use the crossbow and grab the ammo back, but obviously it's not the quickest way of destroying the blight. The sword is really. That's fine, we'll just get rid of it just by standing on top. Wizard's going to push. I need to be careful because there's a lot of snipers on this bit. Whilst it might look easy, there is a chance of death right now. With all the amount of snipers that are up, there is a chance of me just dying to them. Because snipers seem to be a bit of a problem now in the portal, as we've said. So go invis to prepare to get over the other side so that I don't get hit by the ads so much. Yeah, we're going to use a nade here, then we're going to go underneath. Look at how weak we get there. Look at how weak. See? It's not entirely free. Most players won't be able to solve it. I'll be honest. Look at this tether goes in. There's barrier grims now. Bungie's updated Sunless cell on this version at least. There's barrier grims. So I do 2 tethers there. Another tether there. Look at what it's clearing. Cleared 2 barriers. And all of those phalanxes and scions. Thralls, should I say. That was really nice. Okay, and then we move on to the next room. Just watch the amount of damage we do to this subjugator. These subjugators are tank. We end up basically just killing the subjugator within the timer, without the wizard spawning in, which was always a critical thing when we were doing proper Sunless cell runs. Okay, these attendants are very... Look at that. We are getting hit more in the old school way. Like I say, in the old Grandmasters where you'd have to play a bit more tactical. That is happening a lot in this run. You'll see it a few times. But in the defense of what I'm saying, the mods are very powerful this season. Every build is getting... Not every build, but most builds are getting Devour. Some builds are even getting Weakening and Invis. Yeah. There's a lot going on at the minute, right? The Bungie's done very well with the artifact. But because they've done that well, it means all the builds are more powerful than usual. Which that impacts the way the way activities are. How hard or easy they can be. It has a massive impact. But what do you want? A fun artifact system? Or very, very difficult content? Because sometimes you can't get both, right? Now just watch what happens here with this. So I'm preparing myself for this subjugator. Probably the wrong time to pop super here, but that's okay. I don't get my stick on my spike nade. I'm going to use the bow here. I'm getting weak. Look at how weak I'm getting. Yeah, I'm going to play properly in this. Although I am getting hit by that guy to my left, and he's took a chunk of my composure away from me, because we've missed a couple of crits there. But look at what's happened to this subjugator. He's finishable, or will be. So that's very good damage, that. And we didn't get a full Mobius quiver bar neither. But that's very good that we can do that. That's very impressive for the damage. He is finishable. I couldn't see if he was or not because of the damn yellow thing above him. But you can see as well the enemy AI has increased as well. You can just see it by these Centurions. You just need to analyse. Trust your gut feeling, right? If you think the enemies are different to what they were before a previous season, chances are they are, because Bungie have started to self-buff enemies ever since Heresy. Even before that, they've done a few tweaks. They introduced new Taken enemies. They tweaked them. They changed Taken unstops to be more aggressive with a bigger shield. Then they nerfed them. They're doing all sorts of secret changes, which I believe is on intention, so that people can find out stuff. With the portal and the ultimate buff, I don't know. I don't think it is a bug, lads. I just think this is how it's meant to be, actually. This is what they wanted it to be like. after feedback from last season, basically. So we're on the wizard phase. I'm going to take down one of the wizards with the lightsaber. Then I'll stun this unstop here. I won't use my second quiver, no point, because that unstop's basically finishable. I've got 2 more quivers left yet. We're just melting the ultra wizards, and then we get a tether in middle as well. You can really tactically use your Mobius quiver in decent ways. Don't just, you know, hit a boss 3 times over and over, unless that boss is tanky enough where you need to, which, you know, for DPS purposes, yes. But for combatant play, spread out your quivers. Spread them out left, right, mid. Make the most out of your quiver, out of your Mobius. Okay, so we've got Devour here. We've got lots of armor charges as well. So that means I've got a lot of fonts and such. That Void Infestation perk's very good. Get some blocks here. Hyperblade, Eager Edge over this side. I'm trying to build my super, basically, for the Ogre, which I've almost got. Okay, get an Invis finisher kill here. Get a nice spike. Spike grenades are chunk and yellow bars. Very good spike grenades. The only thing is the Void spike grenades do not stick elemental shields. That's the only problem. So you want to break down a shield, then throw your nade. But other than that, it sticks to most combatants nowadays. So I got my tether here. This Taken guy is annoying though with his crit. He's just all over the shop. Look, right. So I'll just do a couple of bow shots here because I can pick up that ammo again. The tether really went over his head. Oh, I can't believe it. Worst tether of the run. Can't believe that, dude. He ducked just as I done my tether. Look at Echo of Vigilance. Proc him right away. I'm going to use a bit of lightsaber because I've got nice overshield DR. Okay. He's basically cooked now anyways, so we're fine. We need to pick up the ammo off him though. We've used a lot of bow shots. That's the beauty of this build. Echo Vigilance procs again. Look at how good that is. That fragment's extremely powerful. It's giving you a second wind all the time. It's allowing for very aggressive gameplay. Okay, we get rid of the rest of the ads. Ammo's looking brilliant. I mean, this build, it really doesn't struggle on ammo at all, does it? The bow, you can keep picking up ammo over and over. The lightsaber is going to keep generating ammo for itself and the heavy. So there's no ammo. You should not run into any ammo problems at all with this build. Now I'm going to get rid of the Shriekers first in Shrieker Room. I don't know what damage this crossbow is going to do to the Shrieker. It might one-shot, it might not. The Charge Bolts, he's doing extra damage. I'll do some block with lightsaber to finish that Shrieker off. So the way I see it is I've got 10 bow shots and there's less than 10 Shriekers in this room. So my thought process is just to waste all heavy on all the Shriekers because I have a banner to pop in 2-3 minutes. So the Shrieker room is going to be very easy because the AR would have struggled against the Shriekers. Yeah, it's out of its range, effective range. Whereas right now it's doing well, but it doesn't do that well in this room. ARs are weak at a range, and they can be. There we go, getting our Shriekers here. So you can work the room rather well. Definitely Charge Bolt is the play, as you can see. Clean up that Shrieker there. Then we've got 3 more in middle. We don't want them to close up though. I'll just strafe left if needed. Ability spam's feeling nice as well. I'm able to get lots of trap ambushes, lots of invis, lots of grenades. High super damage, high survivability. I mean, it has got decent survivability. There's probably builds that still best it for survivability, you know. But as an all-round build, if I mained Hunter, I probably would main this build. Obviously, I don't main Hunter. I don't main any class. I play all 3. But that's my advice to Hunters is that, especially on Contest Dungeon and stuff next week, and any high-end stuff where you need a lot of DPS or ad control, you know, it's either Deadfall, Tether, Orpheus Rigs, or Mobius Quiver for DPS purposes. Okay, that in itself, for endgame stuff, Nightstalker. Obviously, Prismatic Hunter is very strong as well still. to this day, and it always will be unless Bungie nerfs prismatic stuff, but they're not going to. I'm just saying that Nightstalker is very useful to play for the Mobius Quiver at the very least. Obviously, Mobius Quiver is not available on prismatic, but Deadfall is. If Mobius Quiver was available on prismatic, man, that would be crazy, but it's not. Okay, we're controlling the battlefield nice here. I'm looking to get the rest of these Shriekers. These captains obviously push. I am playing a little bit, you know, tactical now here a little bit. Because I know that there's more one-shot potential. Yeah, you've got to play properly in this one. And I'm saying that not everybody's going to actually be able to solo this. Because I have heard reports that people are struggling in Sunless Cell Ultimate. And it's because of how hard the ads are hitting. I'm fine with it. Yeah, if this is what it's meant to be like, then that's fair enough. But not everyone's enjoying this change, and that needs to be mentioned. I go invis here. I'm going to go invis again as well, because the barrier grims are a nightmare to deal with if you're not prepared. So me going invis for tactical damage like this confirms the kill. Okay, so we can go in there, get an invis kill. Yeah, and now we're going to get rid of this Phalanx, and I'm going to do my Mobius Quiver on this boss. I don't know what he can tank. I have an idea, but let's just see what damage we do. We do a third with one soup, with one quiver. Look at that! Look at that damage there with the bow plus spike, and then we finish him off with the second tether there. So we could have just free tethered him. It's because airborne. Airborne is stacking there. Bear in mind. Oh, we've got our third here. We use another one. Unfortunately, we miss our unstop shot on the unstoppable, but that's fine. We still made use of that final quiver shot. For the bows, for these bows, you need to ready the bow. It's not ADS, it's based on ready. Yeah, we get rid of this unstop here. We've dealt with pretty much every single champ. There might be one unstop we've missed. If anyone remembers in Heresy, there was a bugged unstop, and you had to wait for him to spawn in. I don't know if that's still the case or not. Obviously, it doesn't matter. I mean, Bungie needs to implement platinum rewards. You know, where are we, lads, with this? Why is the champions if there's no platinum rewards? I don't know what they're doing with that. There should be platinum rewards for this. What's the point in killing champs then? I honestly don't understand what they're doing. Does anyone know what I'm on about with that? Why is it only me asking about this? Oh, we did miss that Grim. We did miss that Grim. So there's one Grim that we missed there. Because we just banned and then skipped. But yeah, platinum rewards. I guess we will see tomorrow on the old school Grandmasters if there'll be platinum rewards. There's got to be. I'll be very disappointed if there isn't. Be very, very disappointed. If it's just ultimate portal type thing, then... Well, they've advertised that it's not going to be like that. So let's trust what they say. Look at this damage here with Mobius plus bow. And I pick up the ammo before he leaves. Insult to injury there. So now we're just going to sword all these wizards. Yeah, so a point I haven't really mentioned too much. This build's good for swording as well, right? It's actually good because, well, obviously you're getting that devour, yeah. You can weaken targets as well. High uptime on weaken. So it's actually decent for swording, whilst it's not the best class in the game for the lightsaber. I would say that goes to Titan. I think that's unanimous. That Stronghold Titan is right now, it's the best sword class in the game by a million miles, in my opinion, right? But to note, Hunter is nice with the lightsaber. It's not that he's trash at all. Now I'm debuffing, look at that. I'm debuffing by blocking with the lightsaber, and then I pick up the ammo again. Yeah, we get weak here, I think. Yeah, look at that. Although that was bad movement by me, actually. The Trapper's ambush there was not ideal, but that's fine. Look at Echo of Vigilance saving us. And the Trapper's ambush suppressing the ads. Right? Boss is half HP. Ammo-wise, I'm full. And I've got bricks on the floor, so I can play very aggressive. I'm going to... Well, I can play it wasteful, shall we say, with the ammo. If I want to. Void Spike goes in. Look at the Void Spike chunks. Can you see the chunks? That's a lot of damage on ultimate. That's a lot. You should... Anything to take away from this video? Use Void Spike. Void Spike should be the nade that you go with. I've done a lot of tests with Void nades last 2 days. I did like Axion, I did like Suppressor, and I do like Void Spike. Those are my 3 nades I choose. But if I'm being honest completely, the endgame nade is Void Spike. It's incredibly good, right? It's really good. Look at this debuff. Debuff with the sword. I get more damage for the crossbow. Okay, then I can pick up the ammo back off them. We really are approaching a crossbow meta. It's starting to come. Have faith. It's starting to happen. Well, not truly, but at least for a Mobius quiver, it's very important that you use a bow. And crossbows are very good with the Mobius quiver. Better than Leviathan's Breath. It's been mentioned that it just basically is. And it saves an exotic slot. A crossbow will save an exotic slot, so you can use Graviton Lance. Say we wanted to use this in a different way, we could use Graviton Lance with an Area Genealogy L in the kinetic slot. Lost Signal, Festival Flight, or whatever else we wanted to run in the kinetic slot. Graviton Lance is very good at now as well, just to mention. Here we go, King of the North strats. Watch this. I love to do this every time to play around with him. Let's see how quickly. Let's see how good he is this time. TP's to mid. He's more aware than last week. Remember, oh, we get weak there. That's too cocky. Do you see what happened there to me there? I was messing around too much. See? Happens to the best of us. I got too cocky. I need to put myself back in line. Or back Hool nearly wiped me. Look at this. I get a stun on this unstop. Echo of Vigilance procs. Tethers go in. Boom. That wave is finished. That's so good. Phase 1 of this phase is notoriously hard. Because you've got the boss who hits you hard. An unstop that chases you. And lots of ads. It's worth supering all the time. Now look at what I'm doing here. I'm playing around with them. I'm using the crossbow to then sword block. All go invis to pick up the ammo again. So we can just rinse and repeat with the crossbow. And he's debuffed there. Okay. And because I've got high persistence on the crossbow. Remember, persistence as a stat for the crossbow is very important. Because the crossbow shots attach to the boss for a longer time. Meaning that you've got more time to go and grab the ammo. And it's a sizable difference. Okay. Spike grenade goes in. Couple more crossbow shots. Going viz. Ads are coming. But I've got some crossbows shots attached to the boss. But it's not the end of the world if I don't get them. I'll do my 3 light heavy. Remember, you can proc Sword Storm combo anytime. You don't need ads to proc it. So you can prep it in advance. That's what's so good about it. But yeah, this guy's hitting hard on this difficulty. Whether he, like I say, he's hitting hard. So I'm having to play a bit more tactical as a result. Look. He will 2-shot me on a stomp. Okay, what more do you want? Right? Do you want him to 1-shot me on a stomp? A lot of you lot do, don't you? You're nasty that way. You want me to go to Nasty Town. That's what you want. Whereas some of you, would say, oh, no, two stomps fine. And, a 2-stomp's fine. I don't think a boss should 1-stomp you. But I think a 2-stomp is fair. As far as I can see it. So half HP is the trigger. Half HP. I have not got my super though. So let's see how we perform here. I'm in Viz. On the Prowler's procced. Okay, I get my 3 light heavy. Then I do sword block. Do a little dodge here. And I'm waiting for my unstop. I've got my super, but I do not need it now. The room is clear. Once I kill this unstop, we are done. I get my invis kill. That's why you use the fragments I've suggested, lads. Because whilst I know it's not flashy to you, and you might think, oh, I don't need it. Well, you might need it. Endgame stuff, when things happen, it comes in clutch. Look at this damage we're doing here. Look at this damage. With Mobius Quiver plus crossbow. Boom. Look at that damage. It's chunking. So that was a solo for Hunters with Mobius Quiver. I think it's extremely powerful in the game right now. You should probably stop playing Arc Hunter for a bit. And come on to Void Hunter. It's incredibly powerful. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.